Welcome, all of my friends, to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but some call me the Black BVD. And next to me is my underoos roomie. His name is Captain Philip Rest Assured!
Philip Rest Assured is my name, and podcasting is my game, bitches. I like it. I like it rough. I like it wild and crazy. Season 16, Episode 2. We are here. It's the beginning of October, October 5th. My oldest son had a birthday yesterday. Yeah.
How old is he?
22.
Austin?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Don't know. He refuses to talk to me. Hey now.
I think it's the second week in a row we've started fairly dark. Like we've gotten into it, and then it's just like...
Oh, my life is dark, and I find that podcasting, you put a little red piece of foam in front of me, and I give you tidbits of a horrible life that I have.
Is that what this is for you?
Oh, yeah. This is what it is for me. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to...
Be queer.
You know what? Not a bad idea right now.
Faggot. All right. Well, I tell you what. Again, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but we're living in a post-2018 CouchCon society.
Yeah.
It was over. It was a huge success. I don't want to dwell too much on it, but I'm excited for next year's CouchCon! And I'm excited for this new mixer we have that is allowing all these special effects. What was your favorite part of CouchCon?
Yeah.
And what was your favorite part of the new mixer?
My favorite part of CouchCon was just seeing all our fans fill Madison Square Garden. Now, a lot of people are like, you always talk about how you have like 60 downloads. How is it even possible that you filled up Madison Square Garden?
Great question.
But the thing is people stream this show like on YouTube, and all kinds of stuff. And so a lot of people don't use the download app to listen to the show. So
when you say we've got 60 listeners, that's only a fraction of what actually exists because we're not tracking it properly. There's so many different ways people process the show.
Yeah, and so for me, all year long, I look at the numbers and I'm depressed. I want to cut myself. I hate myself.
Right.
I shove stuff in my asshole just to feel something, right? But then
there's got to be other ways to do it.
But then when CouchCon arrives every October,
that's your release.
That's my release because we go up on stage because we do the show that doesn't get aired. We don't.
That's the crescendo is saying you came for this. God damn it, we're going to give it to you.
Right. And so when we come up on stage, it's just like we're at Madison Square Gardens, baby.
People are losing their minds for it, right?
And it's just like, yes. Okay, everybody, please. So we get up there on stage, and it fuels me. It fuels me. So
it's like a shot of vitamin D right in your arm.
We had all the crowd, and then you just you sit there and go, everyone, welcome to CouchCon 2018. Thank you. All right, first, let me introduce you. Before we get started, let me introduce you to one of my pals, my only true friend. And if we could please, everyone, put your cell phones down. Let's welcome Captain Black. You know him. We love him. Jason. And so for me, right. All right. And so for me, that's where the magic is. You see everybody. All year we're like trying to book stuff. We're trying to get stuff squared away.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just like, God damn, this is a lot of work. But then when you get on the stage,
it's the payoff, right?
Now you remember when you came out on the stage because I introduced you, and then you came out on stage. And do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I was like, I said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a year in the making. Thank you so much for making the trek all the way to Madison Square Garden Captain Philip Ressisher and I, well, we've got something very special for you tonight. Are you guys ready?
And that meant they were ready.
The applause alone
Right.
shows that you're ready. Thank you so much. And then we went into our pilot.
Yeah, it was amazing. That's what it's all about for me. It's not about the money. It's not about the Patreon page. It's not about the pilots. It's just about
To use a portmanteau, it's fanfare, right? People engaging with us. We engage with you for a year. This is their time. We've pinched the hose all year long. Now we're going to let it go.
Yeah.
And just the flood of affection. Oh,
it was amazing.
it means so much.
And somebody who had a lot of affection, but it didn't come from us, is our very, very special guest.
This is season 16. This is episode 2, season 16, and I have made a solemn vow to whatever God I pray to. You at home, I love religion, but I also have a free mind, and I say whatever religion you want, you pray to, whatever God, gods, goddesses, whatever you worship, that's your business. Me, I pray to Jesus Christ Almighty. So I take a look to him and I say, Jesus, thank you for taking all of my sins away from me. I now promise to you that season 16 of Couch Pilots will have a guest for every single episode. Episode number 2. Last week we had Kevin Clark. He was a terrible guest.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's kind of like what you expected, you know?
Yeah. And I know he's got BO, right?
Yeah,
but we still allow him in the cockpit.
Right.
It instantly fills up the cockpit with BO.
But what cockpit doesn't stink, right?
Okay, I'll give you that. But the episode 2 here, we go back to one of our, and honestly, Shay is kind of a frequent flyer and someone who's kind of almost a character in this play that we called life, right?
Right.
Her
She's
name-
like in Lion King, like like in Hamilton. I would say that she's Aaron Burr of Hamilton.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's the baby mama for DSJ, our faithful tarmac worker. Her name is Ann.
And she's now the wife of said DSJ. Let's welcome to the show.
Ann, congratulations.
Thank you. It happened so fast, like I didn't even know about it. It was a surprise.
It was a surprise
I
to
may
all
have
of
been
us.
drunk.
It was a surprise to all of us. Let's just break it down. Like when he was you guys were on stage together. He was in front of you. He bent down on one knee, and you thought maybe he had dropped his comb.
Yeah,
He always has that unbreakable comb in
Sure.
his front pocket.
that was my immediate thought.
Comb, so I can do my hair. Sandwiches.
Don't interrupt me.
Don't interrupt me. I mean, what was it like? All the work that you have put in being a fake person, you know, and
Really, I mean, the whole
Fook Me.
proposal is all a blur. It's like people came up with it without me.
This past year has been a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's gone by so fast.
Right, we didn't even know about it, and then when the confetti came down, when you said I do, and the confetti
I don't
came,
remember that part, but yeah.
Why don't you remember that part?
I think
There's a
I was
microphone
just
just
so
sitting right in front of it.
hyped up. I'm talking into it.
For those who don't know the backstory on this, for first time listeners,
Let's tell you
where
from
have
the front.
been?
We're going to tell you from the front. Yeah, listeners, where have you been?
And the back.
We have a faithful tarmac worker. His name is John. He has Down syndrome. We call him DSJ. It
Right.
stands for Down syndrome John. Who cares? Yes, who cares, right?
He does a good job for us.
He dated a woman that I dated briefly. Her name is Ann, and he got her pregnant. Ann has a baby. It's DSJJR, Down syndrome John Jr.
Right.
Thankfully, or not thankfully, however you toss the dice, the baby doesn't have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Right.
Ann pretended to be a Chinaman woman
Fook me.
that DSJ met at hedonism.
Right.
And they got married. It turned out to be a hoax, so the marriage was annulled. And now we have Ann and DSJ reuniting at CouchCon.
They outshined your would-have-been wedding. But
And you know what? I gladly back away from the spotlight for that.
Sure.
Because I love DSJ and I love Ann, and I'm so excited they got together finally.
So what has it been like for the past, 2 or 3 weeks that you guys have been married? What is it? Is it everything you hoped it would be?
Well, just waking up to that face every morning is everything.
It's always
you could
smiling.
ever,
Always smiling.
there's always just a little something there, just a little something to look
married
at.
a-
And something is the extra chromosome.
You married a
Yeah.
man with Down syndrome.
Yes, yeah. The baby seems happy. He's doing a good job with him. It takes a load off of me. So really, there's man caves. I have a woman cave. So now
all
that
right.
we're married and he lives in the home,
I have never heard of
I can
this.
go
A
down
woman
there
cave? A
more
woman-
often.
So-
You've never heard of a woman cave?
When someone says man cave to you, Blake, what do you think of?
A place where a man would go to get away from his nagging wife.
That's exactly
I
right.
call it a studio.
And Anne, what does that mean? Because I've never heard the term woman cave before. What does that mean?
Well, there's a freezer full of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and
Cherry
I watch
Garcia?
Lifetime. Oh yeah. And I watch Lifetime movies and cry
Why,
for a couple hours every day.
why do you cry? I mean, this
Cry every day?
This is everything you wanted. I mean, this is what you worked for. This is why you did the whole Fook Me thing. This is...
Well, I did the whole Fook Me thing to make sure that he would be okay with watching the kid more because I needed some more me time.
Kind of like a Mrs. Doubtfire
Yeah,
situation.
Hello!
But it's
So you don't seem like the... Now, on the last episode, I turned a negative into a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you're telling us this wedding has been a negative for you. Let's turn this around to a positive.
Oh, I'm going to turn it to a positive. It's given me more time to myself. The kid's
Okay.
doing great. That's all that matters.
Sure.
But then there's me time.
Nothing else matters.
Mommy
said,
time.
Said Metallica.
Once and
You know?
only once, right?
So you're living together, obviously, because you're waking up every morning and seeing his smiling face.
Yes.
Does he smile while he sleeps?
Um,
He has to, right?
I think there's just a certain look that's on his face all the time that won't go away. I don't know what it is.
Chalk it up to smiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things we've never had the chance to ask you about is that fateful night where he shot oxygen into your vagina and it led you to become impregnated.
Aka semen.
Semen.
An oxygenated pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is all the new rave.
I honestly think that's why the baby turned out,
Perfect,
without
perfect.
any extra chromosomes. Yeah.
Right.
That's what Gwyneth Paltrow, I think, just had an oxygenated pregnancy.
Oh,
right?
I think
nice.
so.
Way to go, Gwyneth.
Good.
So that night was it as magical as it seems? Because I mean, this
It was like blowing up a balloon
this is like a storybook
in there.
marriage. This is like a storybook.
It's got its ups and it's got its downs,
But-
but ultimately it's a happy ending.
yes.
His
yes.
syndrome
Yes.
may be down, but his hopes are up.
How about-
every
Oh, I
day.
like that very
So-
much.
How about his penis?
No, that doesn't happen.
Are,
He doesn't have a penis?
He has one.
how many colors is it?
One color.
One solid...
One solid color.
Is it a primary color?
It's
Brick red?
It is not. It is not a primary color.
Rust,
Opal?
ivory, charcoal,
Ebony?
Peach.
marine,
Hello!
evergreen. So are you guys? I mean, since you've been married, have you guys complimented the marriage?
No, I find other things to help my own self out.
You're
All about
complimenting...
the woman cave.
You're complimenting yourself and your woman cave?
Yeah.
I look really good down here. Boy, it's clean down here. I don't see any dust like that.
Well, it's not dusty for one. I'm a stripper, so I gotta keep it good. Keep
Are we
it
talking
clean,
about the-
keep it sparkly? You're talking about
I'm talking about your
woman
woman
cave
cave, or are you?
that
talking-
can go both ways. So you're talking about
Oh,
the
so you
room?
go both ways. So has DSJ been involved with you going both ways?
No, that doesn't happen.
You
we
refuse
set
to
up
have a
some
three-way?
rules. Yes, yeah, we set up some rules, and there's no sex.
You refuse to have a three-way. That's a
no
bummer.
free
I
ways.
feel like all parties involved would benefit if you had a three-way, but you're saying no to a three-way.
Yeah,
But don't you think that like you would have more me time and it would be less work for you,
I think I'm just gonna find him like a mistress
or a pillow?
or like a blow-up doll. Do they have Down syndrome blow-up dolls?
Sure they do.
So why? They're kind of like lops. They're like the
They're
factory.
If he had a
fine.
stroke.
Who cares?
The factory rejects, like like you find at Gorman's.
They come out half
Yeah, or
melted.
TJ Maxx, you can
Yeah.
go get one.
You get the max for the minimum at TJ Maxx. So why did you say yes? If
Again, it was all a blur. It was like
So he surprised
I was
you.
forced to do it. Yeah.
you were
Well,
forced.
I had a lot to drink. I was nervous about my set at CouchCon. I was nervous about the show, how I was going to do.
But it went great.
I know it did. It went wonderful. I remember that. But the rest of it,
I remember
The
very first
day.
September.
It's
Zimbabwe.
La-la.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
And I'm glad there's no charades going on anymore. Everything is out in the open.
I hate charades. 3 words. Okay, first word, you. Second word, love. Third word, me? You love me?
No.
You stick things up your ass.
No, I was saying me too.
Hashtag me too.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag him too.
Hashtag 32. Do we have any fan feedback?
We got plenty of fan feedback. It's all going to be oral if you don't mind.
Oh, it's good.
If you don't want the fan feedback, we won't do it.
No, I love oral, so go ahead.
All right. I don't know for sure where I left off. Did we talk about Chris Tuckley saying, "This is one of my favorite Captain Blake stories"? The one about Dakota at the classy vape shirt. We did that one. We did that one.
No, I don't think we did talk about it. We did?
Yeah. He says, we'd heard a short version in previous shows. This retelling included new details, including the fact that Bottle Cap Kid was there on the night too, and I hope that manages to keep his shirt clean. We did do that one.
That was when we went to a strip club in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Right.
And a cute but larger stripper put human shit on your shirt.
Right. And so I want to do this one because
I've never done that. Really quickly.
Oh, you keep your shit?
Oh yeah, it's completely clean.
I just want to. I know I read this one, but I want to read it again.
Yeah.
It's from John Virus, and
John Virus
on the Broken Funny Bone podcast Facebook page. It says,
"What?
What in the actual fuck? No more episodes? Question mark." Yeah, we did that one because we did that.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. He liked Broken Funny Bone, and I said, "Hey,
Who's that
usually listen to Couch Pals." He goes, "Eh."
He knows where the good shit is.
Dee Dee post.
Well, what do you have to say to that? What's in your response to that guy?
Listen to Couch Pilots.
All right.
Just think of it as half as good.
Fucking dodgeball over here.
Okay, let's see here. Ooh, no hanky panky.
Blake doesn't want to talk about Broken Funny Bone at all.
I almost read a personal text
Very
message.
sad.
I asked him about it. He doesn't answer it.
On season 13, episode 7, Venus on the hard
He's probably
drive.
depressed.
Chris Tuckley said, "How in the name of all that is holy can neither Kevin nor Jason have heard of I'm Still Standing? What exactly does Jason have in that massive CD collection of his? I'm no Elton John fan, but come on."
Now, that was an episode that I think Kevin and Steph were on that. Is that the episode where they announced the
Yes.
pregnancy?
Yeah.
And what was the CD he's talking about? Because as we know, Chris Tuckley is across the pond.
I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess you didn't know that song.
I don't know it.
Dee Dee post.
Even further away in Australia.
Right. She post the Power Pack. Congratulations, Jason. I no longer have to use my phone to listen to the podcast. All I have to do is take the sweeper up to the roof, and I can hear your voice coming in across the ocean. Because you were really loud on that episode.
On which one?
It doesn't matter.
I'm loud?
You did a screaming thing there that really affected a lot of people.
It's going to get bad in a second here, but go ahead.
Let's see. Okay, here's one from another person that we've never heard of. Luke Nahas.
That's the guy who left us a message on the last episode. Lucas Newhouse.
Oh, Newhouse.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Youngers says, in America, you write essay. In German essay, please kill me now.
I think that's like a take on the Yakov Smirnoff joke.
Okay.
You remember Yakov Smirnoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, guess what, folks? The joke didn't necessarily land here, but he's getting frequent flyer points.
Right, exactly. And the last...
Don't burp on the mic.
There's two more we'll do. We'll do two more.
It's not two more.
Kevin Clark, who was on the last episode, he posted on our Facebook page the new trailer for Pet Sematary, and he says, based on the album by the Beach Boys. And I said, we should do a remote show from the premiere. And finally, that I have on mine is Dee Dee. This is kind of we've talked about this on the show, but Dee Dee sends me a WGN TV 3.5 minute talk about the faces of Chicago. And she says, I'm sure I have heard you speak about these machines you saw at the zoo. It even talks about the gorilla statue. Remember we talked about the wax statue
I
machine?
love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went up to Chicago about 5 years ago with Nurse Courtney, and they still had those at Brookfield Zoo. I couldn't believe it because I remember them as a child. I want so badly to get a wax statue.
Do they have the gorilla? Who do we call to find out if they have the gorilla?
Call the zoo, baby.
Luke again says, I'm with Blake. Movies, who needs them? There are only like 3 movies worth watching, and 2 of them are just dreams I had. Hey-o! All right.
That was actually pretty funny.
That was good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Way to go, buddy. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's
Why
go
are
ahead.
you repositioning everything that's going on here?
We'll find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Remember when I used to do a movie quote?
Yeah.
I have a friend. Her name is...
Congratulations.
Thank you. The end. Now, I have a friend named Mary Ann. It's different from Ann, who's here today. And she had requested a movie quote, this movie in particular.
So you need to turn the volume down on you?
No, that's why I'm kind of repositioning myself.
Okay. And action.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I can jog all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't. She never could. I'm so mad I don't know what to do. I want to know why. I want to know why Shelby's life is over. I want to know how that baby will ever know how wonderful his mother was. Will he never know what she did through for him? Oh God, I want to know why. Lord, I wish I could understand. No. It's not supposed to happen this way. I'm supposed to go first. I've always been ready to go first. I don't think I can take this. I can't take this. I just want to hit somebody till they feel as bad as I do. I just want to hit something. I want to hit it so hard.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, oddly enough, like they took that monologue and they reused it in Mamma Mia too. I was like,
Right.
didn't
Like,
I see this
yeah,
already?
There's no creativity in Hollywood anymore.
Just fucking rehashing everything.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But great job.
Oh, thank you very much. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Acting Sheriff from the year of our Lord, 1900 plus 91. Great year.
Goodums yearsum.
Oh,
How old were you in 1991?
10.
I was 16. I got my driver's license, and you know what 16 was? That was the birth
Here we go.
of The Godfather. It was where the first ticker happened to get over that 100 threshold.
Clink.
Clink.
That's the fish sandwich in the driveway
Angie
action, right?
McVecco.
McVecco.
That's what we're calling her now?
Yeah.
McVecco? Okay.
And how old were you in 1991?
When this aired, I wasn't even 1 yet.
Oh, is that right?
So you were 10.
Right.
And she wasn't even born yet.
Sure.
I was born, I just wasn't
She was
a
born.
year old
You were
yet.
cognitive.
Less than a month away from being a year old.
She wasn't self-aware.
She was 11 months old. She was
I was still shitting my pants.
And to this day, I'm proud of you for not doing it anymore.
Very good, everyone. Now we have to go back to 1991, right?
Right. We cannot judge. Okay, so this is what we say all the time, but I don't think people understand, is we can't judge this on 2018. Almost 2019. We're going to have to change it up here.
Sure.
Pretty
It's
soon.
coming up pretty close.
But in 1991,
Yeah.
no Courtney Cox.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have that back then.
No Band-Aids.
No.
No Metamucil.
No.
Right?
No.
And no strapless bras.
Oh, my
okay?
God.
And so how are we supposed to look at this pilot in the eyes of today? We have to go back there.
In our minds. And we do so by talking about things that happened back then to put us in that mindset. First of all, November 1st.
November?
November. Oh, my God.
I think you said November. That fucking computer, you should have paid more than $250 for that
Oh,
thing.
I don't know about that. Last of Kuwait oil well fires extinguished by Canadian well control team called Safety Boss.
That was the name that they gave their company?
Sure. You remember
Hi! I'm Bob. I'm from Safety Boss. Do you have petroleum going all over the place? We'll come and clean it up. That's right. Safety Boss is here for you.
they made commercials for putting out Kuwait fires.
That was on their Instagram. It was the Instagram. It was on their time story.
The very first Instagram. You remember that though, right? When I think it was Saddam Hussein Obamacare.
Just started lighting them on fire.
Yeah,
he's like America, fuck you. I'll just light this shit on fire.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
so
he said, burn it down.
and then the original George Bush beat him in a war, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, so they said Canada put the last one out.
Yeah.
Is Canada the best nation?
I would say I've never heard anything bad about Canada. Like to me, like they're always right in the middle of everything. Like guys, be cool, man, be cool.
Right, they're always so polite.
Sure.
They've got free health care.
Sorry.
And they have bacon that we call Canadian bacon.
Right, but all it is ham.
Yeah.
It's side bacon. They call it side bacon. I think they call it side
I think
bacon.
they call it side bacon.
Hashtag side bacon, bitch.
Side bacon bitch. Side bacon bitch, have you ever been to Canada?
I have not. No.
Sorry, he said that. I'm sorry.
I would. Sorry.
Focus on what we're talking about here. November 2nd, Jermaine Jackson releases Word to the Bad, an anti-Michael song. 1988.
Was this-
87 or 88 is when Bad came out.
Was this after the Victory Tour when they got back together, or was this before that?
It had to have been before.
Yeah, because
right?
but think about it. He did this, and
Think
then
about it.
and they were all so poor except Michael.
Were they poor?
I would think all the other Jacksons were poor except Janet and Michael, and so they did the Victory Tour, which was all the Jacksons back together again, and that's when Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire for that Pepsi commercial.
Was that then? Mm-hmm. Oh my! I
'Cause
do.
that was-
I do remember. I didn't realize that was then.
That was promoting the Victory Tour.
And what do you think? Michael Jackson, did he rape little boys?
I feel like he had a close bond with Macaulay Culkin, but
Remember when Macaulay Culkin was in the Black or White video?
Yeah.
And so was George Wendt.
yeah.
Do you think that Michael Jackson had a number of floppy disks with the Commodore 64 game Micro League Baseball on it?
Yeah, what do you think
I
about
think
that?
I think he had like videotapes.
Ooh. Hey, don't sit so close to the window.
Stop filleting that window. Criminy.
There is such thing as turbulence. I mean, we haven't gotten to it yet, but you can break your nose on
Yeah,
that window.
save for your filleting for the turbulence. November 6th, Russian President
Boris Yelkov.
That's right. Borkin Yelkov outlaws Communist Party. I think the Russians at this time period, 1991, were known for being communists.
Sure.
And this guy says, no more communism. Do you think that's right, to outlaw a style of politics?
No, I don't think that's right. I mean, that's what Donald Trump's trying to do, right? Like
What's he trying to
sensible
do?
people. No, I think communism does work to a certain extent. We have to say it does work.
What's the difference between communism and socialism? Probably the word, the letters and the words,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How it's spelled.
Yeah, how it's spelled.
Right, but the core basis of it is the same.
Sure.
And to be honest with you, it's not that bad of an idea, to be honest with you.
In theory, right? But
Sure.
is it executed? Does it work?
Well, no, that's the problem is everybody who has tried to put it into effect
Like
has
who?
been a fucking crazy person.
Boris
Yelkov.
Boris Yelkov.
Right, Yakov Smirnov.
Yakov. What's that? Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer.
The chess champion.
Yeah, Roberto Clemente.
Sure.
Right, you know.
That's that tomato drink?
Oh yeah. Ooh, it's so sad.
I don't get
Yeah.
it, but fine, that's fine.
Did you say saucy? It's so saucy.
I was going to say sassy, but
Yeah.
Swass me.
so ask me.
You guys ever heard of the word swass?
Isn't that when a girl goes out on dates with guys just to get free meals?
No, I went hiking with a lady once, and her sexy sister was there.
Right.
And she was wearing like yoga pants or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
her
yeah.
ass crack started sweating, and
Yeah.
and the lady said that's swass.
Did you try to lick it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were hiking, and she was sweating, and I tried to lick it.
I would have.
Fucking retard.
Lick her ass or the yoga
I
pants?
would have. It's a
would.
pheromones.
She was sexy. I
Yeah,
would,
it's
I would've-
pheromones.
Yeah,
You would have licked her ass sweat? Her swass?
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, no.
Marianne, look at me. Yes.
Her name is
Yeah, oh,
Anne.
yeah.
First of all, her name is Anne. It's not Marianne. How many times I got to call you a fucking retard this episode?
Again, This Marianne chick sounds lovely. I'm a stripper, though, so we got to separate the two women.
She's
You're not working tonight.
Yeah, I'm not.
Obviously.
You're right.
She's not lovely.
What?
And why did we choose to watch Acting Sheriff?
Because it was, it's,
We have 3 criteria.
Yeah. It's free.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's one.
You're not going to pay money for it. It was a
Unlike
one
your
and
services.
Done. One and done.
Yeah.
So I mean, it either made it to air and that was it, the one episode, or it never made it.
Whether it aired or not is.
Irrelevant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look what you've done. You've started a revolution, my friend.
And then
Irrelevant revolution.
No one gives a fuck about your revolution.
gotta be able to find it, right? Classically
Sure.
Blue Link.
Uno, dos, tres,
Yeah.
cuatro,
Good
cinco,
job.
siete. Where can you find the episode to watch for yourself? We can find the entire episode of Acting Sheriff by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. Period.
And
Mississippi to Mississippi.
Right.
And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube and...
You know what to do, Tube.
see how much better it works? If you
great.
just do it that way with a period. One period.
I need your
You
help.
were turning blue, so you gotta focus.
That's more to do with my sepsis. I left the tampon in too long.
That's toxic shock syndrome.
It's a
How do you put out a Kotex fire?
tampon it.
Tamp on it.
Summary of the pilot. B-movie star becomes a sheriff in a small town. Rate that. You rate it.
That's a D. I mean, there's no detail whatsoever. You like short ones, but it's.
I make my living off of short ones, all right?
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
That's how I get by.
My brother. High five that shit.
And rate that summary.
Yeah, brief, very brief.
Not unlike my underpants.
I know only one thing.
You know one thing?
Yeah,
What's that thing?
that a B-movie actor became, a sheriff
In a small town.
in a small town.
Very
Sorry.
good.
Okay, so I know
Best.
2 things.
Of the worst. It's a BTV breakdown. I think we're waiting for Excel.
Interesting facts.
Interesting facts, folks. Let's go through it. We're on season 16. If you don't know the rule, I don't know why you don't know the
Go
rule.
to hell.
Go to hell.
Won't you please go to hell?
And hell's coming with you. You like when I grab a hold of this fucker
I like when
and just
you
get angry.
you like tunnel vision everything else out and you have your own shit going on. I like it. You're gonna fucking go to hell, every last one of you.
Don't break that. I don't own it.
The plane is shaking. The plane is shaking.
What's called? Yeah.
Now.
Basically, Jason scours the internet and finds facts about this pilot that you would not have known otherwise.
Who do you think you are to know things I don't?
Right. And so just listen to them, absorb them.
Right.
You can have thoughts within yourself.
Sure, you
I
can.
have them all the time.
Yeah.
And they all involve me dying.
Yeah, a lot of suicidal tendencies, right?
Yes, not the band. The actual.
Oh no, the band. You think about the band's suicidal tendencies.
Where they
so
wear
yes.
they wear their hats off the brim flipped
Hell
up.
yeah, they
It was
did.
Stupid. But don't discuss these facts with anyone else
Don't do it.
because you don't want to taint their
Oh,
experience.
yes, taint. Yes, you have to say taint. I was thinking about just letting people know to keep it inside.
Keep it in their
of you,
pants.
like I do in my woman cave.
Right,
Keep,
and
keep it
so,
inside.
but there's been the Conrad rule. There's been many names for it, but basically boils down to one sentence and one sentence only. Guys, just don't do it.
Created by Walt Disney Television for television network CBS that aired across the United States on Saturday, August 17th, 1991.
Wow.
Fact.
Fact. I mean, yeah.
Whoops.
This shit was built in the back of his back.
Oh my God.
That's why he can't breathe when he talks.
I can't breathe. Initially, Acting Sheriff was thought to have a good chance of filling the Saturday 10:30 p.m. slot in the CBS 1991 fall television schedule.
Fact.
Fact. In addition to the draw of noted actor Robert Goulet, the show was developed by the writing team of Larry Strother and Gary Murphy, who were the writers of Night Court, a then wildly popular American television situation-style comedy, and the writers of Without a Clue, a 1988 comedy film starring Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley. Michael Caine. Fact. Okay, this gets a little facty here, just so you know. The August 17th, 1991 airing of the show was its only airing in a December 1991 effort to raise more than $200 million to finance Disney Network's television business. That Disney created zero coupon-based rate adjustment securities, or ZEBRAs, as a promissory notes to be used to obtain money from the investing public. Disney added Acting Sheriff and other no-name television projects to the ZEBRAs. Even though Acting Sheriff and the other projects were considered dead dogs by some, Disney presented ZEBRAs as a way for the public to buy into programming Walt Disney Television that was started in October 1988 and profiting from possible hits similar to Blossom, Golden Girls, and Empty Nest.
Wow.
I'm not done.
That's facty.
Super facty. I'm not even done. The bonds were both seen as innovative and controversial by tying their investment return to the performance of Disney's television shows. With analysts saying the deal was not a good one for investors, the ZEBRAs were not successful. Disney ended their offerings 23 days after the program started, citing falling interest rates as a reason for terminating the ZEBRA program. Interest in Acting Sheriff largely remained dormant for the next 13 years. However, in 2004, Acting Sheriff made its way to the August 16th, 2004 television show, The Best TV Shows That Never Were, as one of 40-plus reviews television pilots from the pool of thousands available pilots. Clips of Acting Sheriff were used by the Best TV Shows That Never Were show to insinuate that it was one of the best or one of the worst pilots ever aired.
Wow.
What's that?
Wow.
Say it again.
That was super fact.
Sorry. I haven't really figured this thing out completely yet. That was a super fact. That was probably the biggest fact you've ever
It's a
pulled
super
on.
fact.
Super fact.
It's super facty.
The fact that Disney had created this own buy-in program for the show and their other
It was
programs.
like Bitcoins.
It was super facty,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a bad pork chop. Super facty.
Twitter responses.
Or a steak. Bad steak.
Twitter responses. Doubtful Jason got some Twitter responses.
I kind of did. Did you see this? Were you following this at all?
No, I don't know how to use my hands or Twitter.
As I do, I contact people through Twitter. People, the creators, the writers, the directors, producers, the actors of said pilot. One of these people is Lee Tiergressen. I don't know.
Okay.
He was in Wayne's World. You ever see that fucking shit?
No.
You ever?
Really?
No, I've never seen
You've
it.
never seen Wayne's World?
No, I've never seen it. And we were supposed to go to the Halloween party at Augie's house, and they drew who all their guests were going to be, and we were going to be the Wayne's World characters, and I was like, well, we're not going. I don't know.
Is that last year?
No.
This year?
Yeah.
I didn't get invited.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed.
I'm also ashamed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also it's you.
And also with you. Thank you.
And with you.
This is empty. Do you ever see Weird Science?
Yeah, that had Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand in it.
Oh God, forget it.
And she was a girl that he was a drunken musician.
No.
And she was just a lonely Jewish girl singing at a nightclub.
No.
With a beautiful voice.
No, that's not it at all.
Isn't
Actually,
that Kelly LeBrock, right?
that was the
She
original.
was a lonely Jewish girl.
No. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Jesus Christ.
She was just a lonely
Cheese and
Jewish
rice.
girl.
There's a guy named Lee's Tiergarten, whatever his name is. He played one of the inmates in the show, but he's been a character actor. He worked on Oz. He's worked on a million projects. I sent a tweet out to him, and I got a response back. And I went back and forth with this guy, or so I thought, but it turned out to just be his fan page.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
I got duped. You heard about that?
I did see that. That's stupid. Why do they just tell you from the get-go?
Sure, like one time remember when we did the State's 43rd annual Halloween special?
Right.
And I talked to Peter Dinklage.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't Peter Dinklage at all. It was some guy probably jacking off his mom's basement. The same thing with this fucking shit.
Just filling the room up with oxygen.
Jesus
Was he or
Christ.
was he not a midget?
A little person.
guy in the
Hello.
Dinklage is still a little person, thank you.
Right.
As far as his fan club, I couldn't tell you.
I think it's a prerequisite, right?
I'm at an impasse here.
Okay.
What do you want to do with promos? Do we still want to air promos for people?
Does anybody play them for us? We did karaoke Big E last week, and he does.
We did that last week.
Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it live. You did that on
Hey,
purpose.
this is The Voice. I'm here interrupting one of your favorite podcasts
Are
to
we
tell you
still
all
recording?
about mine.
Yes.
If you're a fan of craft beer,
If you're a fan of
independent
craft
music,
beer and independent
pop culture,
music, pop culture,
and laughing
and
at
laughing at
inappropriate things,
things,
then you should
can
check out Drunken Lullabies, brought to you by Distill Brewery. New episodes are available
every
on
day,
draft
Sunday,
every Sunday. So you can spend the Sabbath getting tipsy along with us. We try beers, play
Go ahead,
songs, and laugh our asses off. So go on, indulge yourself, and become a part of Drunkamaniac Nation. And if craft beer and
beer's
music
not
are
your cup of
thing,
tea, and you
can
like to
listen
watch
Drunk at the
movies,
Movies every
check out Drunk
Wednesday.
at the Movies
Brought
every
to you by
Wednesday.
Iron Spike Brewing Company.
Brought to you by the
Listen to
Bearded
me and
Owl.
my friends provide our own alcohol-fueled commentary tracks to some of our favorite movies, unedited and uncensored. You don't have to be drunk to enjoy these movies.
But it doesn't hurt.
But it doesn't hurt. Until
I
next
got an
time,
idea for
this
a
is
new
the voice
podcast.
saying, may your music be loud,
And your... Whoops.
Your beers be
and may your
lonely.
beers be cold.
I've got an idea for a new podcast.
Let's get something out of the way, though. Like, when I said, I knew you were going to do that to me. It's not that you were going to play it, but that's the loudest one, and you usually give me a little wink.
Yeah, that's really
because
loud.
I need to turn the
That's
volume
really
down.
loud. Drunken Lullabies on hiatus. Drunk at the Movies, a great program.
Sure.
It's revamped recently with Dustin. He's teaming up with a new guy named Seth. He had a guy named Shemansky on before. He drop kicked that fucker to the curb.
Well, why wouldn't you?
And then now he's it's actually cool because he's doing like videos and shit.
Yeah.
Like he's really like taking his media game to the next level. So check out Drunk at the Movies. Comes out every couple weeks now. He's kind of spacing it out a little bit.
Sure.
He's got a lot of projects Dustin's working on. Anyway, great program. Check out Drunk at the Movies. But I have an idea now. This gives me an idea for a new podcast.
Let's hear it.
Let's just like there's so many fucking podcasts,
Just
right?
do promos.
We'll just play promos and talk over them.
And it's going to be called What You Talk Talk About, Willis?
That'd be called Fuck Your Promo. Would you do that with me?
I'll do it. Yeah.
It would be like a 10-minute podcast. We'll just
Yeah.
say, hey, 5-6 people, send us your promos. We'll play for it. And everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, I've got 8 listeners.
Yeah.
And then we'll play the promos, and then we'll just talk over them.
That works for me. I'll do it.
All right, very good.
I know a guy that's got a server.
Oh, who's that? What's his name?
Tim and Brian.
Talking about it? All right, well, I'm going to take a look at my my phone here.
Yeah, Marianne, we still have the rule in place that we only have 10 minutes to talk about the pilot.
I've never met her. Marianne's very lovely, right? Lovely woman.
Oh, voluptuously lovely.
Voluptuously love. I'm sure she would appreciate hearing
I
that.
know Marianne, and if someone ever says, tell me about Marianne, I always say the word voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous and pale.
I hope she's listening. I hope she's one of the.
And I always say
four.
she's like physically weak.
I think a lot of people, like, she can't lift like a grocery sack.
It's embarrassing to her.
And some people call her Marianne the Impaler.
Sure, I've heard people say that, but it's weird
Because
to be.
she's pale.
It's weird to be both voluptuous and weak. But God damn it, if she doesn't do it in spades, am I right?
And she can't play spades because she can't pick up the deck of
Unable to
cards.
play spades.
She can't pick up the deck of cards.
Unable to play it. Very embarrassing for this young lady. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the pilot now of Acting Sheriff.
Okay, first...
10
Thank
minutes
God
only.
that's not me you're talking about.
I'm gonna hit start right meow. There
All
it
right,
is.
let's start off. You're in a police station, okay? And there's a cop there. His name is Mike Swanson, okay? And he's a good-looking young guy. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's a character actor.
Sure.
Deputy Mike Swanson.
Yes, deputy. And all this, they bring in the thieves, Doug and Robbie.
One of those guys was Lee, who I was talking about from the television
And you were
version
talking
of
to
Weird
his
Science.
You were talking to his fan page.
Yeah.
The video quality could have made it appear different, but the one long-haired guy with the beard, he seemed like he was pretty hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of.
I think that was Lee, the blonde hair guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that's Lee. He's
Yeah.
a good-looking guy.
A lot of
Right.
a lot of thieves are good looking.
It's because they steal your heart.
Stupid thing to say.
It's such a fucking girl thing to say. Donna is the assistant DA.
I love her, by the way.
And I've seen her in tons of stuff too. I'm not sure. And then Mel Torme comes in.
No.
I wrote Mel Torme.
The Velvet Fog.
But I meant to say was Robert Goulet.
Yeah, they rhyme.
But I wrote down Mel Torme! Exclamation point.
He plays a character named Brett McCord, and he was elected to be the sheriff of this town. He's the new sheriff, and he's due to arrive any second.
Right. He has no experience being a sheriff, except that he was on a lot of TV movies about being a sheriff and stuff.
Here's a good question for you. There is a tough, no nonsense, by the books, blonde police officer. You know who I'm talking about, right? This blonde broad.
Deputy Mahoney?
Yes, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, is she hot? Is Deputy Mahoney hot?
Maybe in like a butchy way. Like a more masculine...
Like she could wear a strap on and you'd be like, "This is good to go."
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
You think so? But besides that, would you sleep with Mahoney?
Not unless she had a strap on.
I definitely would. Okay. Then the incarcerated.
Mahoney. Come on, guys. Mahoney.
Oh, Mahoney.
Mahoney.
And I feel alright. I say,
Mahoney.
yeah,
Mahoney.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know, Mahoney make me feel lots of horny.
Yeah.
Lots of horny.
So horny.
Good God.
I'm so horny, guys.
All right. So anyway, Mel Torme comes in. He's the sheriff, right? And he has like this cowboy outfit on, basically.
He really does look like an old western, like shitty old western.
Yeah, and I think
His face looks like he'd be the host of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
And his voice sounds like it.
Robert
too.
Stack.
Yeah.
Well, the incarcerated thugs there, they're like, oh my God, I recognize this guy as Brett McCord. I am, not only am I a thief, but I am also a fan of yours.
Sure, and I've seen movies, just like me. And he shows off a little bit, and he's got a gun, and he's trying to twirl it on his hand, and
Yeah.
he does, he fires a shot, and luckily nobody gets hurt. Thank you, that's what happened. And then the intro begins, and it's basically all like these movie posters of Mel Torme's.
What, Mel Torme? What's your favorite one? Did you see some of these posters and their names?
Yeah, I didn't see the names. I was writing.
I liked
stuff.
the fifth wife calls it quits.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
My favorite
story
was
of my life, right?
my favorite was not Scuba Saint Steve, but Scuba Sleuth. Scuba Sleuth was my favorite.
That's where he was. He worked at the zoo and took care of the sloths. Did you hear I adopted a gorilla?
No, I didn't hear that.
Do you want to hear about that real quick?
Sure. Hold on. Let me put pause on this.
All right.
And we are pausing. There you
Okay,
go.
so we went to St. Charles, Missouri, for the weekend.
Sure.
And we went to the St. Louis Zoo.
What did you go down there for? Was it something related to Molly's work?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was her work trip.
Okay.
And we went down there, and I told her on the way down. I said a couple days before, I was like, I'm gonna adopt a gorilla. And I was like, she's like, whatever,
I don't understand you and the money you have just to like fuck and jack off with. You go to casinos, you adopt an ape. I don't understand
A gorilla, thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah, so we went to the zoo. We walked in. The first thing I did was I went to the information desk and I signed up. And I was very irritated because the level of money that I donated, I was supposed to get a 5x7 color picture and fact sheet.
Of Harambe?
I named him Harambe too.
The sequel.
Right. So I got a certificate. I got a sticker for my car.
But you're upset?
Hold on. And I was upset I wasn't getting, and I said, well, okay, first of all, I didn't get the plush toy because they didn't have any more plush toys of the gorilla.
So many people are donating money.
Right. And so he's like, do you want to donate to a different animal? I said, no, I can't. I came here with a purpose, guy.
Came here for ape.
Right. I know you're retired and everything, and this is all you had to do on a Saturday afternoon. So I got my certificate, I got my sticker, and he did find a fact sheet. We made our way through the zoo. going to see the stuff that Molly wanted to see first, of course, because I'm a gentleman.
Penguins.
No, hippos, and then the butterfly.
Sure.
dome.
Sorry,
Yeah,
the hippo thing reminds me of a
game called
of a time I went to the zoo with some friends.
Hip hop.
It made me very self-conscious. Basically,
What?
the hippos weren't really doing anything.
No, they don't.
Right. Okay.
But
then
they will kill you.
But then I walked over and they started like awakening and wrestling around and being active. And one of my friends said it's because they know one of their own is near.
Jeez.
So
And you call that person a friend, huh?
Fuck that guy, right?
it was a joke.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't.
It was. I gave
was
him.
rude.
I gave him credit. It was funny. I laughed.
Was it only because you have 2 teeth in your mouth and they look like cylinders?
That's from stripper pole accidents.
Or because you have you constantly have a bunch of fish swimming around you, chewing on your skin.
Keeps it exfoliated.
Don't their top 2 teeth just look like cylinders in cartoons? That's really fucking funny, right?
So yeah, we finally went to go see the gorillas. I was very excited. I had my pamphlet with me and my little envelope of prizes, and got there. And 2 of them were way back in the corner hiding, and the one was laying there scratching his balls, laying in the sun. And I was like, "That's my boy." Go ahead and start the clock.
Hold on, I'm pulling up a picture of a hippo.
Around by the
cartoon.
second.
Nobody cares about my fucking gorilla.
You know that multiple people have adopted that gorilla, right?
I understand. I also understand the amount of money that I did was probably not even enough for his lunch.
Why did you do it? Just because you say you have the extra money and you want to do it?
No, Molly said, "Hey, we'll get a souvenir each," and I was like, "I don't want a T-shirt. I don't want a stuffed animal. I'm going to adopt a gorilla."
So you have like a commitment for a year or something, or what?
It paid. Yeah, it's a whole year. And also the biggest benefit of doing it is I will be in. Don't start laughing until I'm done. I will be invited to the parents' picnic next summer.
Aw, how precious.
Thank you.
That is upsetting to hear. We're resuming.
I'm a parent of a gorilla. How is that? And I get to have a picnic in my honor.
They're in the city of Loma Sita. They're in Northern California.
Loma Sita.
And there's a secretary there. She's kind of an older lady.
Yeah.
And she's really kind of blah, apathetic,
Donna.
not impressed with anything or anyone.
I like Donna.
Brett comes in and he kind of gives the thugs a talking to. He kind of, in his mind, is like setting them straight, right?
Yeah.
But Brett has no, like you said, Blake, he's got no experience.
No training.
He's just an actor, right?
It's
Anyway.
not the smartest or brightest box in the crayon.
Yeah, and he shoots the gun
Or
again.
the
I don't know.
brightest crayon in the box.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a bank robbery, right? And so they apprehend this bank robber. They bring him in, and he starts talking to Mel Torme about how, I've seen you in all these movies. Is there any way I can get an autographed photo? And he's like, yeah, sure, come into my office. And he went and picks it up, and he turns around, and the robber's gone. He got away.
You know, my favorite line of this whole show is right before the guy gets away. He's got him in the hallway, and he's like, "Tell me where the money is, or you'll be doing sit-ups with the devil."
Right.
What the fuck does that mean?
We'd be fucking the devil. That's what that means.
He's gonna have sex. You'll be anally raped by the devil for eternity.
Yeah.
Holy God.
Who wouldn't like that?
But yeah, he's pretending like, oh man, oh my God, I'm starstruck.
Sure.
Give me your autograph. He's like, yeah, let me go in and get an 8x10. And while he does that, the bank robber turns around and run away.
Run, my little runaway, my bank robber, runaway. They didn't. I don't know this.
Donna Singer, right? She's the assistant DA, and she's pissed about the lack of like a Miranda rights that one of her clients gets.
He didn't read the rights.
Yeah. And it comes to light that at that point that Brett has lost the thief. Everything at this point is taking place on this one set.
Sure.
It's kind of an open office, police station,
Sure,
with a little hallway out in the side. Right?
Like Archie Miller, Barney Miller,
Marnie Miller,
Marky McGrath.
Mark McGrath. Every morning. Sing it.
There's a pillow hanging off my 4-post bed corner. It's kind of dry in some corners and it's crusty, but it smells like my girl gave me head. I don't know what to do.
It smells like...
when she's not around.
Every time I've gotten head, fucking stinks out the place.
But we make sacrifices, right? To get to the finish line, you got to just push through it.
What is Mahoney's first name? Is it Jude? Did you guys have that?
I don't know.
Jill?
Okay, so she's
I don't
she's
remember.
the tough lady, and Helen is the secretary. And she's like, she's kind of the secretary. She's like dispatch or something, right?
Sure, she's a dispatcher.
I love Helen.
Keller? Me too.
Mike lets Brett know that the thief has been spotted, and now reporters come to the station, and Brett's kind of freaking out that these guys are going to find out what happened.
Yeah, they're going to find out that he's the one that let him go. It's going to, So Mike comes up with this plan, goes and finds the guy, right? And so he's like, stall these reporters. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, act like you're doing a movie.
He like pulls out monologues and starts, saying some dumb shit.
How much time is left?
3 minutes.
Jesus.
The reporters are there because they think Brett caught the bank robber, and they want to get some shots with him and talk to him.
Sure.
But what he really has to like reveal to them is that he lost the bank robber.
Right.
So it's like his first day on the job, and he's fucking screwed up royally. Anyway, got a new scene after that. The reporters, they show them being bored to death.
Right, and they're like, wait a minute, something's going on.
Yeah, Brett's like droning on and on, trying to stall, and the people are just like, ugh.
Like people listening to this show right now.
Sure.
Mike comes in, he brings in the robber, and he's like, makes up this thing about how, the sheriff knew they didn't have the right evidence because they didn't have the money with him, so they let the robber go on purpose so they could
follow him back to the hotel.
And he has a sack of money, a burlap sack of money.
Love that.
God.
I love burlap sacks.
He then takes some silly photos with the thief. The next scene is very dark. Mike, it's very clear that Mike has a crush on Donna, the assistant DA, and they're at like a restaurant or something.
Bar. It's like after work.
And then Brett thanks Mike for his help, and that's it.
It's over.
A yawn is right.
22
My God.
minutes over.
You'll never get that shit back.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Holy God in heaven almighty. Turbulence, the time of the show where we say, what happened? This only went one episode. If it went any further than that, we wouldn't be talking about it. So
Sure.
what happened here? In this case, I actually have a little bit of an answer. Sometimes I have a little bit of information. This is one of those times. In the August 21st, 1991 primetime ratings for the week of August 12th to August 18th, Acting Sheriff received a 4.6 share and was ranked as number 83 out of a total of 90 primetime television shows. The 4.6 share represented a 4.3 million TV homes out of a possible 93.1 million TV homes. CBS eventually filled the Saturday 10:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. primetime slot with 48 hours, a documentary and news program broadcast on the CBS television network since January 19th, 1980.
That was with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they did a sequel to that program, I think, called Another 48 Hours.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's like the 2 more days.
Correct. So they're basically saying here that 83 out of 90, that's not good ratings at all. People don't give a shit about this show.
Right.
Why don't you think this show worked, Anne, not Marianne?
I think it was a lot in 22 minutes. I think it was just a little...
Oh, were you bombarded with information?
No, it was just kind of... I don't know. I don't think they played it out very well. They should have kind of had a better storyline. It seemed a little rushed. Like, first he comes in, like he's
then
there.
Comes marriage.
Yeah,
Right.
then comes a Down syndrome baby in a baby carriage.
But he doesn't have Down syndrome.
It's true. But, like,
Marianne
you meet
would
him,
know
Good luck
that.
on the next one.
Marianne would have known
he
that.
loses the guy, dramatic scene, gets the guy back done.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick 3 acts.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you do to improve this, Blake?
My God, I would have used different actors. I thought Robert Goulet, a.k.a. Mel Torme, he was too over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't seem like a cool movie star guy. He seemed like a big douchebag. And I know that's kind of what the character was supposed to be, but give somebody like Burt Reynolds, put Burt
Oh, I
Reynolds
could
in
see
there.
that. Maybe. I think they should have
You know
also
who
had
couldn't
one
see
of
that?
the, like, female
Sally
deputies
Fields,
with
because
some
he punched her in the
cleavage
face.
happening.
punched her?
Like a tighter
Pussy?
deputy outfit with some
Anne,
cleavage. that
are
would've
you
boosted
talking about
ratings.
tight pussy?
No.
Is that what you're talking? No? Oh, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
one only hopes that if
gonna
that a woman
scratch
with
out
a
my
great
rating
set
then.
of jugs also has a tight pussy, but I think they should have
Sure.
added a little skin for the skin on the women.
I also
in the
think
show.
the deputy should have been a woman because that would have led you to a lot more stuff. The deputy.
There was a woman deputy.
I think she was was she a deputy?
thought
No,
or
she was,
I
was
think-
she was just a private.
No, she was Deputy Mahoney, right?
she had hot privates, I think.
You wouldn't
You
tell
said
it
she
didn't show
did.
enough skin.
You said she had hot privates.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. I don't negate that at all.
It was poorly cast, and it just seems so cheesy, and it just seems
That's it right
it
there.
seems so cheesy that you couldn't even like. We've seen a lot of shitty stuff, but it was so bad that it was so just pathetic. It just drug on. I'll be honest with you, I almost like wanted to stop taking notes.
I checked how long I had left a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. There was nothing I enjoyed about this.
I enjoyed Helen. Helen.
Helen Keller
Yes.
is a great person to hang out with.
Sure.
The older woman.
Don't play
the
charades with her.
Absolutely not.
Operator, receptionist lady, the older woman that voiced her opinion. She was funny,
Sure.
relatable. That's about it.
Yeah, that was Helen, right? Helen was dispatched. She
Yeah.
was enjoyable.
And who would have thought that Helen Keller would be a dispatcher at a police station? That's amazing.
Yeah, you want to put her on an assembly line with some nuts and bolts somewhere,
Right.
not there, but it worked out apparently. Yeah, I don't know. To improve this show, I don't know. I think it's a bad concept from the start.
Right.
Sometimes these shows you can look at and you say, I think if you tweak this or do this, you might be able to save it. I don't know that there's any saving this show.
This is like an 83 out of a 90.
Oh my god, it's not great, guys.
Guys,
Ladies and
not
gentlemen,
great.
welcome to FCS
Guys,
Airport.
don't do
Local
this
time
show.
is 11:11, and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
I will say that this is on IMDb. People have rated this on IMDb.
Okay. It's
Out
been a
of-
while. It's been a while since we
Been a
had.
while. It's at a 1 to 10, the 10th decimal place in play. And what do you think people from around the world rated Acting Sheriff?
3.4.
Captain?
2.7.
A 6.2.
What?
Oh
the
my.
This is only from 5 ratings. This is quite literally the minimal amount of
It
ratings.
was the parents of all the actors.
You might be right. You
Yes.
actually might be right. Critic reviews. The Florida daily newspaper, the St. Petersburg Times, rated Acting Sheriff a best bet. However, the weekly entertainment trade newspaper Variety found the Brett McCord character too cartoonish to support the show as a series. In describing Goulet's performance as Brett McCord, Variety stated that it was a goof on Ronald Reagan by way of Ted Baxter. I don't know what that means. And came across as a trigger-happy ACLU-bashing boob whose disregard for the law is equaled only by his vanity.
Right, because I think they're saying that Ronald Reagan was a movie star before he became president.
Okay, gotcha.
And he said boobs, so that's cool.
He always said boobs, didn't he? Variety also faulted the show's appearance and other characters as too closely resembling the look, feel, and characters of Night Court. 14 years after the show aired, American actor Lee Tergesen, who is the gentleman I was speaking of earlier, who was on Acting Sheriff with Robert Goulet, characterized Goulet's performance as quite good.
Okay.
The New York Post ranked Acting Sheriff along the lines of the pilot for a mellow John Denver cast against type as a two-fisted FBI agent in the mountain adventure Higher Ground, and the pilot where Tom Selleck and Robert Urich co-starred in the cop drama Bunko. That sentence is almost not even English to me.
Right. All I know is Bunko because Molly plays Bunko.
That's what I thought too when I read it. Other than that, it may
You
as
thought
well
about
be-
my wife?
I was thinking
My
about your
wife.
wife intentionally. Did I happen to mention I wasn't wearing pants?
Were you?
Yeah, I was giving my dick an Indian rug burn.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Is that what
welcome
you're
to
doing?
FCS Airport. Local time
Grinding
is
the pepper.
11:11,
Wheezing the
and
juice.
You wanted the pepper? You want to sit on
For
the
your
pepper?
safety and comfort, please remain
You remember that
seated
sketch
with
from
your
SNL?
seatbelt fastened until
You
the
do,
captains turn off the
unamused by
fasten
it.
seatbelt sign.
Oh, merciful heavens. Ah, the end. A sigh of relief, am I right?
Not the end.
Oh, pretty close. We rate the show now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
1 to 7.
This is why people listen. They fast forward to the end, but that's just
What is this rating system all about?
the rating system is based off of the wonderful television show Wings, and it's based off the characters of Wings.
Yes.
First of all, a 1, which is the worst, is a fucking Roy Biggins, and it goes all the way to 7, and that's a Bobby Hackett. Bobby Hackett.
Love Bobby Hackett.
Bobby-
It's always been
listen.
Bobby Hackett.
Bobby Hackett is a cross between Buddy Hackett and Bobby Brown. So don't be cruel. That's
To a heart, that's true, right?
To a pilot, that's true. 1 to 7. This is where we rank it.
Anne, you're here. You're queer. Give us your score for acting sheriff.
Would you say you're bi or you're queer?
Or you're curious?
Or are you bi-curious?
Or you bi-queerious?
The age
I'm gonna
of
say-
bi-queerious.
I'm experimental.
Nice.
Very good.
High five that shit.
I'm gonna give it a Helen bump because I liked her a lot.
Sure.
So I'm gonna do it would be a 2, but the Helen bump makes it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, just because of the Helen bump.
We get it. You like her boobs.
Fucking shut
Those
up.
old
We
saggy
get it.
tits.
It's all about tits with you.
Captain Philip Tedesher, I turn to you. How do you rate acting sheriff?
Guys, I had trouble, and I knew it was only 22 minutes. I had trouble. If I would have saw this was a 45-minute, I would have pulled a card.
He had trouble.
I had trouble.
Right here in River City.
Robert Goulet, a.k.a. Mel Torme, was awful. I struggled to watch this. I almost gave up doing notes, but I thought about my listeners. I'm giving it a 1.
Wow.
I hated it. It was so painful, and to only be 22 minutes long and me to feel that much pain, that's bad.
How many times did you check how much time you had left?
I didn't check it because I'm watching it on the Roku, and just to do that, it was just going to take longer.
Got it.
I almost completely second that emotion, Captain, when I say that I checked it, I think, once to make sure. And I think I saw like 6 minutes left. And I was like, oh, good gravy. This is not a good pilot.
No.
Robert Goulet, this is built on the back of Robert Goulet, right? They said, here's a guy who acted. Here's a guy who sang. People recognize his face.
Sure.
This might go
Terrible
as a
face,
pilot.
not attractive.
He has a terrible face. It looks like it hit a fucking cheese grater. This show sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has virtually no redeeming qualities. I do think Robert Goulet, while it was built on his back, he played the character as it was supposed to be, for better or worse.
He did what he
Yes.
was supposed to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
It was poorly written.
One of the critics said it was like a cartoon. Fine. I think Robert Goulet played the performance as it was to be played. It reminded me, honestly, a lot of the Adam West, Robert Smigel, Conan O'Brien pilot, Look Well,
Yeah.
which I thought was fantastic.
Sure.
I really enjoyed it. Adam West played that part perfectly. Kind of
absurd, kind of.
very much like Adam West, right?
Right.
I don't like this, though. There might be a version of Robert Goulet's personality as people believe it to be to fit into a sitcom, but this is not that sitcom. I don't give it a 1. I think it's slightly better than that. I give it a 2. The 1 is the worst of the worst. This is not good, but I give it a 2. And you give it a...
I gave it a 2, but a bump for Helen.
So you gave it a 3. Captain Philip, rest assured you gave it a 1.
1, 2, 3.
And with that, we close the book on acting sheriff, and we will never mention that show again.
I promise you.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Meet the Family. Here's a little something to whet your... Arthur Lake's attempt at duplicating the success of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet by featuring his real-life family. You can find the entire episode of Meet the Family by subscribing to Couch Pilots in SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links.
He's
Turning,
a fucking
it's
period.
blue. It's purple. He's turning purple.
If he would just
He's got to
put
just
one,
pause.
if he just put a,
One
a
period.
A
Breathe
semicolon.
in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Semicolon, for Christ's sake.
Or go to YouTube, man.
You know what to do, too.
That's right. There you go. Oh, my God. We mentioned it briefly last week. Travis Heimel, this might be your last opportunity to pitch in on an extremely worthy and awesome, and maybe above all, a really cool cause. Lucha, Lucha, is the name of a project that he's working on. Travis Heimel is one of our frequent flyers.
Sure, he listens to all the shows.
He definitely
Great guy.
does, and he subscribes to the show.
And he didn't ask us to
comments.
do this. He was just telling us about it. He didn't ask us.
Yeah, absolutely. But we love him,
Sure.
and we think his product is fantastic. And I think what it is it like Lucha is like a Mexican wrestler, the masked wrestlers.
Sure.
But it's like a masked Mexican wrestler is like a James Bond secret agent kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a really
I like
cool
it.
idea. Go to Facebook or go to Kickstarter and pump in Lucha. You'll pull it up. You'll see like the first 5 pages of the comic. He's got a cool little video put together. Donate to his cause. He's got a bunch of different levels on Kickstarter and all these sorts of rewards and prizes that you can get for helping him out. It's him. He's got another gentleman on there as an artist along with him,
Okay.
and then they've got a writer. So this team of 3 guys have created something really cool. Help them with their cause. His name is Travis Heimel, longtime frequent flyer. I really can't promote it enough. I think it's a really cool project. I'm excited for him.
Cool. Awesome.
I'm also excited for folks to go to couchpilotspodcast.com, the one-stop shop, a phrase I invented,
Right.
for everything Couch Pilots.
Yeah, you can listen to any of the episodes. Has links to all of our social medias. You can email us from there. It's there's a picture of us. It's outdated, but we still are just as handsome as we
We
were.
look about the same. I
like-
have a beard now.
The only
I think right now Blake is crying though. He looks.
Well-
I know this show means a lot to you, but
Right.
you look
Well,
like you got
I-
a few tears.
I miss the kitchen, and the backdrop of that professional picture was our kitchen, and I just liked that picture. And it was the first day. It was the birthing day.
Was that the first day that
I
we
got,
did?
got some
so.
tissues in my bra if you'd like some.
Yeah, it's
Why are there tissues in your bra?
I got to make it appear like they're larger, so
Can you
that way.
take off your headphones real quick?
Disappointed.
Can you take off your headphones, Ann,
the
real quick?
Stage.
Dude, if you get one of those tissues, they're gonna smell like your tits.
Nice.
Ask-
I want
ask.
one close to the middle. Okay.
You like middle tit best?
Well, that's where all the sweat is.
You ever hear of Thomas Middle Tit?
You know what? I have it. I like him.
All right, okay, put your
Okay,
headphones back on.
Yeah. It's
All right.
We'll take some of those tissues you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, here you go.
And we're not just going to smell them. We're going to use them for their intended purpose.
I'm gonna eat them.
Here you go.
You ever ate a Kleenex?
I'll
before?
try one right now.
Here you go.
What's it taste like?
Salt,
Hopefully cinnamon.
salt and pepper. Ooh! I just chipped my tooth on a piece of glitter.
I think there's a bone in mine.
There's a bone in my tissue.
There's a bone in my
tissue.
dear Lila, dear Lila. Oh, boy. 910 Pilots 1 910-745-6871. Listen, you stupid fuck. I know you've got a phone in your pocket. Pull it out and call us. We want to hear what your dumb voice sounds like, and we're going to play it right here on the show.
That's why we get so many
out
calls.
We're
the
very
phone.
aggressive towards our listeners.
They like it like that. All of our listeners
They
like
love
it rough.
Oh, they love that shit.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's one of our listeners that doesn't like it rough.
Oh,
I
that's why they
found
come
that
back.
out at CouchCon how rough everybody liked
whoa.
it.
Oh,
yeah.
merciful
Everybody.
heavens.
You
Was
get
that
those
was-
you get those body butters going on and
Was that before or
glitter.
after you said I do?
After.
What?
DSJ wasn't there.
During.
You had a
baby.
CouchCon orgy?
You're gonna have to
Tell
I
us
don't
some
know.
facts.
I don't know.
Talk about a love seat. Go to patreon.com if you've liked what you've heard here, which who among us can say that we've liked it. Donate to the show. Everything that we do here, Air Force One, CouchCon, it's not free. Oh, Lord in heaven almighty, I pray to God that it was free. It is not free. It costs us money
not.
to do this,
Right.
right?
That's why I didn't get my clear pool.
I don't want to talk
With
about
all
that.
the money.
You've demanded it for next year. We got your voicemail last week.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and big shout out to Big E from Karaoke Big E for hooking us up with a new mixer.
Totally, yeah.
I'm going to figure it out eventually. Hopefully this doesn't sound like shit.
It won't. And he's the man. And yeah, but if you like what you hear here, help us keep the lights on by donating any amount you can. We appreciate whatever.
Sure.
And there's different levels there. Go check out Patreon. Type in Couch Pilots. You'll check it all out there. And thank you so much for coming on what I like to call, again, a post-CouchCon.
Universe.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
Anything you like to promote while you're here?
Well, unfortunately, the show I would like to promote no longer exists.
Was that
but
called
you
A
can
Woman of
still-
Science?
That never existed. You could
Okay.
still check out old episodes, though, but it's Broken Funny Bone podcast.
Oh,
check
yeah,
out some of those.
I like that one.
I did too. It was a lot of fun.
I got together with all my friends. Now I feel like me and my friends are becoming more distant.
I have more tissues if you need those.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
hungry.
me, right?
I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck you. I'm hungry.
I've had so many women say that to me.
Are you done yet? I want to get a fucking sandwich.
Right. Don't get it in my hair.
Eyes. Don't the eyes.
Yeah.
It stings, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You can tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I know a sting. I can tell like a stinged face.
You can see it a mile away.
It's like Stewie from Family Guy when he gets that squiggly line in
When
his eye.
when that baby gets cum in its eyes. Is that what you're talking about? Captain Philip Rester, do you have a message?
Taking me back to the day.
God.
A message of positivity. Is that what you want from me? Well, I'm going to do it in a style that that you love very much, Jason.
Is he gonna talk like a baby?
No, I can't.
Could you?
Are you gonna use one of the effects?
You ruined it by bringing up new things that they weren't.
Sorry.
I want everybody to listen and listen to me good. I don't care if you're 5 or 85. Don't let the tablet run out of batteries. And don't let that guy try to fuck you.
He's really gripping that microphone, too.
What
I
a
think I
great
can get a
message
listen.
of positivity. Oh,
Baba Booey.
Lord Almighty in heaven! This pilot may have
Hey,
been
Marianne,
rough.
thanks for being on the show.
Her name is
Who?
Anne. You fuck.
I mean, she sounds voluptuously incapable, apparently, but
Incapable of lifting anything.
She's
Yeah.
very weak.
at least she's voluptuous.
I'm assuming she's probably capable of some things as long as she don't have
She has osteoporosis.
as long as your
I
dick
can get
doesn't weigh
pills
more
for
than
that.
3 ounces, she can lift it up.
Oh my God! It's always a smooth flight
This,
here on
this
Couch
television
Pilots.
show may have been rough, but so is this podcast.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire
Hey, hey, Blake, listen to this.
Thank you for joining us. We are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
And do you want to sing the song?